What was the thought at halftime after getting back within 4 points?
Felt good going into halftime, have a little momentum going our way. It's always good to have that going into the half, but you can't let it stop at halftime. You know, you got to let it carry you through to the third and fourth quarter.
I think you had some good adjustments.
I think we did, but we just didn't execute them the way that we should have. We were making all the adjustments. I mean, Coach P's smart, so they were there, but we just got to go out there and execute.
How tough is it to defend a quarterback like Kyler Murray, one that's can run pretty good too?
It's tough because you always got to make sure that you have a guy kind of watching them, you know, and that takes away from them from coverage and makes things more open. So it's definitely a threat, and that's why Oklahoma has such a good offense because of that, and they played really well today.
How tough was Kennedy Brooks to slow down the running back?
Oh, I mean, they have some physical running backs. OU always does. I mean, it's not that they're guys that we can't tackle. We can do better at it. But they definitely ran hard and gave us their best.
What is it about Oklahoma that just makes their offense so successful?
They just have a bunch of difference makers in their team, you know, at pretty much every position, quarterback, running back, receiver. They have some physical alignment. Sorry, excuse my voice. So, I mean, that just makes them a threat. I mean, that's why they're always one of the top in the nation. And whenever you play teams like that, you gotta meet that level with that kind of intensity.
Coach talked about the missed tackles. What do you think's going on there?
That's just breaking it down to football fundamentals, you know, and things that we've learned growing up and executing them. I think a lot of times we try to go in there and make a big hit and lower the shoulder but forget to wrap up, little things like that. Things that we need to work on in practice, even in days when maybe we don't have pads on, just practice on thudding the guy up. That's something I've been trying to make more an emphasis of, and I was able to do a little bit better with my tackling today than I have previous weeks, and just little things like that, practicing in and day out. We need to start working on that.
But when you're shifting around so many guys to different positions because of injuries and whatnot, doesn't that also affect your concentration or your confidence to make those kind of normal plays?
I don't know about the confidence necessarily, but I think comfortability can be a factor when it comes to tackling because you're thinking about so many different things. But that's whenever we got to get used to communicating, even though the guys are in different positions. If we're able to communicate, which we started doing after we let up 28 points, we're like, okay, screw this. This is not what we want. Let's go out there and communicate. Let's fly around, have fun. That's when we start getting those stops there at the end of the half. And if we would have carried that over into the second half, this game would have been totally different.
Tyus, one is the leaders of this team. Kind of what do you tell the young guys now that you guys are 3-4 and just kind of staying focused, staying in it?
We got to keep our head up. Season's not over. I mean, at this point, we're really fighting to make sure that we can find a way to get 6 wins. That's the first bar that we're trying to reach. And so that starts with Kansas this next week. So obviously bummed at the result of this week, but starting tomorrow, really starting now, it's our focus is now on Kansas. And so we can't keep our heads down. We got to get ready to get to work and lock in. That means coming over, spend extra time in film, treatment, doing everything that we can to give ourselves the best opportunity to become 4-4.
What goes through your head when you see, obviously, you're already without Ennis and Nico, and then Jeff's on the sidelines? I mean, is it just
Next man up.
That's all you
Is
can
it
head
do.
scratching though, frustrating? I mean,
Yeah, it's frustrating. I feel bad for those guys, you know, because I would hate to be in that position, especially the fact that I'm a senior. I would hate to be in that position, so I feel for them. But at the same time, it's next man up. So you can never just settle and be like, okay, we messed up here because we have a new person, and they're like, no, everyone practices the same. Everyone's puts in the same amount of work, watches the same film, and so when it's your turn, got to go out there and make plays.
You've obviously moved around the field a couple times this year. How do you stay prepared to not just play your position, but to play multiple positions potentially?
That just comes to putting in a little more time, you know, putting a little more focus, a little more energy when it comes to practice and watching film with the coaches or by myself and kind of breaking it down. I mean, because if you're sitting there and you only focus on one position, like the fact that I'm doing two, it can seem overwhelming at times. But as long with the experience that I've had in the defense, the fact that I've been able to play both, just got to adapt, you know,
Yeah.
the best way possible.
Do
We'll
they
go
give
two more
you?
with Ty, then we'll have Michael Collins down the road.
Do they kind of give you reps at both positions during practice during the week?
Yeah, I get reps at both just to keep, especially to keep Dean fresh. Certain days let me do more than others. Just depends on kind of what coach is thinking.
Ty, on the sidelines, what sort of energy did Michael give the offense, and how big was that just to get back in the game there by the end of half?
Oh, I mean, you know, momentum's a crazy thing. All it takes is one play. So whether it was Sean or whether it was Mike, I mean, just the fact that Turpin out there making crazy plays too, It's a shift in energy. Yeah, I respect Mike going in there. Hadn't really had much opportunity this year, and he's a great player. And both of these guys are great players, but it only takes one guy to step up and make the play, and that happened to be Mike today.
Thanks, Ty.